Max Fried has established himself as an Atlanta ace, and as the Braves open a 3-game set with the Cubs, Fried looks to build on a dominant performance against the Dodgers. Tonight, the Braves begin a series against Chicago, and red-hot Mad Max has never lost to the Cubs. Game 1 from Truist Park is next on Bally Sports. Lead to Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, where Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. Big crowd expected for Game 1 of our 3-game set between the Braves and the visiting Chicago Cubs. It's a special night, Greg Maddux bobblehead night. That's one reason why there's a big crowd tonight. We've also got a great pitching matchup. Marcus Stroman for Chicago, and Max Fried, who's never lost to the Cubs, takes the ball here in Atlanta tonight. Hi, friends. Chip and Jeff. Great to be back with you. Partner, I don't know if Max Fried can pitch any better than he did last time out against the Dodgers. And for a Braves club that's looking for some traction, who better to start a series than Mad Max in Game 1 tonight?
You know, we've seen Max really good at certain times. I don't know if I've seen him as dominant as he was last Tuesday in L.A. He had all 4 pitches working. He threw it to any part of the zone when he wanted. 0 walks, 8 strikeouts. He had just 93 pitches. And after a first kind of couple where he wasn't excited, he was dominant, and you get the feeling he's getting ready to get on a roll. 3-0 with just under a 2 ERA against the Cubs in his career. Should be a good night for Max Fried.
We had a day off yesterday. It was a day off that came with some bad news. Eddie Rosario needs eye surgery. 8 to 12 week recovery period, Jeff. So a different looking outfield in Game 1 tonight.
Yeah, 2 things real quick. You hope that obviously everything goes well and he can come back. It also explains 3 for 44. Could tell he wasn't seeing the ball even in the outfield. Hopefully, thoughts and prayers for him that he continues to get better after the surgery and he can be back and do what he did last year.
Travis Demeritte gets a start tonight. We'll see what Travis can do against the Cubs before a big house here at Truist Park in Atlanta. Beautiful night for baseball. Lineups, first pitch, Braves and Cubbies coming up next. On the season, they've dropped 5 of their last 6 games, including 3 of 4 to the Pittsburgh Pirates. That doesn't make their manager David Ross all that happy. His Toyota starting lineup, this is a pesky team. They get on base a lot. They lead the National League in batting average and on base percentage. And Seiya Suzuki is a sensation who's come over from Japan. We'll talk a lot about him as Max Fried faces Chicago. Jeff, a team he's had a great deal of success against.
And coming off one of his best starts of his career in L.A. last Tuesday, 7 scoreless, only 2 hits with 8 Ks and no walks. And another thing you love, 1 walk to 17 Ks this year. And you said it, Chip, he has had great numbers. This is kind of a young team offensively. Hopefully he can take advantage.
Michael Hermosillo leads off, batting 118, and that's down and in, and we're underway on a perfect night for baseball in Atlanta. Almost perfect temperatures, 63 degrees for Game 1. As Hermosillo hits a ground ball towards short, soft contact. That's what Max Fried gets a lot of. And there's out number 1 on the ground. Jeffrey, good start for Max. What are his 4 keys?
Well, throw strikes for Max. It's, as I said, a young team. They're aggressive. They like to put the ball in play. Take advantage of that. Get some ground balls. And runners in scoring position, 1 for 14 Sunday against the Marlins. Got to find a way to take advantage of that tonight.
I think it's safe to say we all remember the start the Braves had last year. Identical record after the first 17 games. This is a team that's still waiting to gain some traction. They've got their 3 horses lined up in this series. Now's the time, wouldn't you think?
100%. You got a chance here to win these 3 games, get back to 500 before you go on the road trip. Because again, this is a different Mets team this year too, with Buck Showalter at the helm. You just don't want to fall behind too much this year.
This is Seiya Suzuki. This guy is some kind of player. Highest on base percentage in Major League Baseball, hitting .354. Big time star in Japan. The Cubs signed him to a 5-year, $85 million contract. And they're hoping, Jeff, that he will continue his ascent. And look, he said he would like to emulate Mike Trout. That's the guy he would like to follow in the major leagues, and that's why he wears number 27.
Don't we all?
Right. Yeah. What a super player. Right-hand hitter, corner outfielder, perennial Gold Glover in the Japanese leagues. In fact, when he first came up, they called him the red-helmeted Ichiro. The Hiroshima Carp, the team for which he played, wore red helmets. And he played a lot like Ichiro. No relation for Seiya Suzuki, as that's banged off his foot foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's got off to a good start. A lot of pressure coming over. Your first year in MLB. He doesn't seem to be a guy that's trying to do too much, though. Cubs, a lot less strikeouts than the last 2 years, something they really wanted to work on. So right now it's kind of gotten them into more double plays, too. But David Ross wanting his team to be a little more contact than years past.
The Cubs are 7-9, 3-3 on the road. Not at full strength. They've got 8 players on the IL as this series starts. And strike 3. Max Fried retires Suzuki looking. That was an uncomfortable at bat. And Fried off to a good start. 2 up, 2 down in the first inning.
Well, that's that good cutter right on inside corner. Travis with a good frame job, and Lance Parrott rings him up.
This is Patrick Wisdom. Terrific young power hitter for the Cubs, who hit 28 home runs last year, breaking the rookie record once held by Chris Bryant. That's why he's hitting third. Couple of homers, 11 RBIs this year for Patrick. And that floats in for an even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Max Fried's last start was perfect through 5 innings, faced 1 more than the minimum through 7 innings. And beat the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Boy, he's on the attack. That's something we have seen from the likes of Charlie Morton, from Kyle Wright, and certainly Max Fried. Love it. Get after it. He's trying to retire a hot-hitting first-inning offense in order here tonight. The Cubs with 16 first-inning runs, more than any other frame this year. And a little cue shot is still foul. 1-2 for Patrick Wisdom. Max is ready. Here's his 1-2. Broken bat. And a 1-hopper to short. Fried, a 1-2-3 inning with a couple of ground ball outs. He's off to a good start. Here come the Braves against Marcus Stroman. 10 so far on the year. They've beaten the Cubs 6 out of their last 7 meetings here at Truist Park. Brian Snitker's Toyota starting lineup has a different look. Again, best wishes to Eddie Rosario. Talk more about his situation in just a little bit. Travis Demeritte, though, Jeff, gets a chance to start in right field, but it all starts with the top of the order, and it starts with Marcus Stroman, who, like Max Fried against the Cubs, has been real tough for the Braves offense historically.
He's had some good numbers against the Braves with the Mets the last few years. Cubs brought him over on that deal. He's not been able to see those numbers. He's not been able to find the strike zone. Has really struggled with location. His cutter, one of his better pitches. Usually hitters are 6 for 10 with 5 extra base hits off it this year. See if the Braves can get some of that. But again, 4-1 with a 2-1 in 6 career starts against Atlanta.
Stroman said every time he makes a pitch, it feels like he's doing something mechanically. He feels like he's out of whack. And this is a guy, when he's right, like Max Fried, he'll wear out the infield grass.
Big time.
So hopefully the Braves can elevate and jump in front early with Albies, Olsen, and Austin Riley here in the opening inning. Stroman ready to go, and the first one, first pitch, is bounced to Eric Young, the Braves first base coach. No balls and a strike for Ozzie Albies. 6 homers, 11 RBIs, and a modest 3-game hitting streak entering play tonight. Like Fried, Stroman likes to work quickly, wants to get into a rhythm. And there's a good hook. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This guy last year led the Mets in wins, strikeouts, and innings pitched. He was 10-13 in New York and in the first of a 3-year deal in Chicago. 2-2. And that's been the challenge for Chicago. They have not been able to develop many homegrown pitchers. They've imported some good ones, and Stroman the latest in that line. As Ozzie got jammed, and that's popped to the right side, and he's retired for out number 1. Nick Madrigal is the man that made that play. Albies is out number 1. Here's Matt Olson. Matt, your National League hits leader, and is batting .355 on the year, and doing, Jeff, what you'd expect against right-handed pitching.
Yeah, .415 on the year has absolutely stuck it to the right-handers.
Couple of homers, 6 RBIs for Matt Olson. And that one sharply hit, but into the shift. And Stroman gets his first ground ball out of the game. And for Atlanta, 2 up, 2 down for Austin Riley. Last 4 hits for Austin, Jeff, have been extra base hits. 2 doubles, 2 homers.
Yeah, he is left off, or picked up right where he left off last year in the postseason. 295, 4 homers, 9 RBIs, and playing a stellar third base.
And of all the Braves, he's the one that needed the day off the most with a new baby at home.
Yes.
Get a little rest.
Said he got a good nap in yesterday.
Well, but with little Easton laying on his chest, snoozing together on a beautiful Atlanta day. As he digs in against Stroman and poked over the netting, foul. 0-2 your count. No balls, 2 strikes. Stroman missed his spot. Little roller hit towards second. Quick release and in time to get Riley. And that will retire the side. Both starters off to excellent beginnings. 3 up, 3 down to the second. We go scoreless. Georgia Natural Gas Impact Player of the Game. That's Braves starter Max Fried.
Yeah, you saw the numbers I told you about the Cubs. 1 career start against the Cubs at Truist Park back early in 19. It's kind of was Max's coming out party when he joined that rotation every 5 days, went 6 innings and gave up 1 hit.
Like that Dodger game, Fried was perfect through 5 2/3 against the Cubs. And so far so good. 3 up, 3 down as Wilson Contreras digs in and takes a strike. Contreras at .255, a couple of homers and 6 runs batted in. Off speed, and that's inside the bag, fair at first. And Demeritte got to it quickly. Throw to second, skips and safe. Tag on the hip. Contreras to the outfield side of the bag, slides in just ahead of the strong throw from Travis Demeritte. Heck of a job to make that as close as it was.
Pretty good pitch and just a good job of hitting. Yeah, it's a good throw if it's, think about it, if it's, oh, it almost hits him before, but
so 5 doubles for Contreras, and Frank Schwindel is the hitter. Schwindel, the Cubs' first baseman. He's got an RBI in 4 straight games.
Back from that World Series team, Contreras, one of the only ones left. Jason Hayward also, who's not in the lineup tonight, but not many guys left on this Cubs team.
Yeah, it's a new look team.
Yep.
Rebuild. Schwindel digs in with Contreras a big lead at second. No shift for Big Frank, who, looking at him, just immediately reminds me of Paul Goldschmidt, the way he swings the bat from the right side. The Cubs would love that kind of production.
Yeah, I was
from
going to say.
Mr. Schwindel. One ball, one strike in a scoreless game. Chicago the first hit. Change up, a beauty. It's 1-2.
And that's where I think for some of these younger hitters, Max is really going to be able to take advantage if he can get a head chip. He can really expand the zone on these guys.
Well, the Cubs think they may have found a keeper in Schwindel, who's been with the Royals and the Oakland organizations, if memory serves. And look, when he got to the Cubs last year, July, 15 homers, 48 RBIs in 69 games. So maybe they've caught lightning in a bottle for David Ross. Good to see David here. Very popular Brave in his day. One ball, two strikes. Yan Gomes would be next. He's the Chicago designated hitter. As Ozzie moved back toward the hole between Olsen and the second base bag, Contreras took another 2 steps toward third with his lead, and Fried saw that, so stepped off. Little cat and mouse game. Max knows Stroman's a tough opponent. Don't want to give up too much offense here, as Schwindel hanging tough. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, this is what Chicago does. They are not a super powerful team, but they do put the bat on the ball. High on base percentage, try to move the line. They're averaging over 5 runs a game. That's second best in the major league, surprisingly.
No, they have. They've just struggled giving up runs this year so far. But 297 so far with runners in scoring position this year, 242 last year.
Swing and a miss. He pulled a string. Big out for Max, his second strikeout, and Gomes will be the hitter.
Well, great job. You threw 2 fastballs in, one for a ball, the other one you got a foul ball late swing on, and then you come back with a curveball down in the zone and got an easy swing and miss.
Gomes at 263 with an RBI. He's in the lineup because of good head-to-head work against Max Fried. 3 hits, including a homer. And a right-handed bat rather than, say, Jason Hayward. With the lefty on the hill, 1 ball, no strikes.
And then easily in the 7th, 8th, if a righty comes up and you like the matchup, you can do it. I bet you as we go along, you'll see more catchers like this get opportunities at certain points in the DH spot if you want to get some offense in there.
Contreras a good lead at second with 1 out now. The pitch. Didn't chase it. 2 balls, no strikes. Max Fried, a perfect 3-0 against the Cubs in 3 starts. Ground ball will get the runner to third, but that'll cost Chicago a second out. Fried gets another ground ball out. He has 3 of those. And now Nick Madrigal's coming up with 2 outs.
Yeah, good fastball. A little two-seamer. I think had some run on it and got the end of the bat. Broke his bat.
Madrigal's first RBI of the year came on Wednesday. A rare deal between the Cubs and the White Sox last July. This guy played at Oregon State. Real good college hitter. Hasn't transferred to the major leagues yet, in large part because he's been hurt a lot. And that pushes him off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Leadoff double. Contreras at third, but with 2 outs in a scoreless game. Max has an excellent fastball tonight. That's been 95, 96. That was the slider. So how good the curveball is. Showed that to Schwindel and struck him out. So again, knock on wood, everything working for Fried here in the early moments of Game 1 against the Cubs. On the ground, Riley got the hop he wants, throws on the run, and Max Fried, damage control, works around a leadoff double. No score. Ozuna, d'Arnaud, and Dickerson coming up in Atlanta. It's presented by Truist. Chip and Jeff upstairs. Kelly Crawls with us here at the ballpark where we have no score. Marcus Stroman, Max Fried dueling in Game 1. Great crowds all weekend long with the Marlins. Another crowd pushing toward 30,000 on Greg Maddux bobblehead night. Absolutely perfect weather. And more to follow Wednesday and Thursday nights in games 2 and 3 of this series. Let's see if the Braves can get a win. They'll start the inning with Marcell Ozuna, who takes a Stroman strike. It's 0-1. Four homers, 10 RBIs for Ozuna. You heard Kelly's interview with Brian Snitker. With the loss of Eddie Rosario, the Braves feel like they have the outfield covered. They feel comfortable playing Marcell in the outfield, not just DHing. And if he does that, everybody will feel comfortable. A hit on an 0-2 pitch.
Some 2 years ago we saw Marcell do just as good as anybody in baseball. Go up the middle the other way, cut down that swing with 2 strikes. Got a little split and smoked it to right field.
I'd like to see the Braves do more of that. Go the other way.
Yeah, especially in certain situations like this. Well, and also, Chip, when you're struggling to kind of get the offense going and score, that helps kind of open things up.
Former Blue Jays battling here. Stroman and Travis d'Arnaud, who's hitting .311, a couple of homers and 6 RBIs. Short lead at first. Big hole right side for the Braves catcher. And that's taken low and away, ball 2. Stroman is not a big, tall, physical specimen, but he is strong and he generates a lot of velocity.
Yeah, and more deception movement. I mean, he's not 97, but you said he's kind of a little guy out there throwing hard. You see all that movement right there. That's what he's trying to go split, that cutter, and then sometimes he's able to sneak that fastball by you.
For his career, Stroman 61 wins, 62 losses. Look, if wins don't matter, okay. What jumps out at you, 3.70 lifetime ERA. That's impressive. And only 98 home runs allowed in 182 games. So again, sinker. He gets the ball on the ground when he's right, and that's perfect in his new home ballpark, Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Keep it below the wind.
2-2. Swing and a shot to left. That's in for a hit. Back-to-back 2-out knocks for Ozuna and d'Arnaud. Travis has been on everything. That was loud. And a great chance for the Braves.
Well, it's a perfect example of what I've been told. He's missing his spots, trying to go away right here. Look where Contreras is set up, and look where the ball ended up. Backed up right over the middle of the plate. If that ball hits its spot outside, might be a double play, something like that. Instead, you get too much of the plate, and now you get yourself first and second.
And nobody out for Alex Dickerson. Braves were 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position in the finale with the Marlins. Here's their first chance tonight. And Dickerson unloads to center. Not enough carry. Ozuna at second is going to tag. He's going to move up as Hermosillo makes the catch. Productive out for Dickerson. First and third, one away.
Well, he's hit about 4 or 5 of those this year that I feel like he's just missed.
New baseball and the humidors. A lot of folks wondering if that's a reason why power is down all across Major League Baseball.
It's got to be. If you look at the launch angle and all that, it's pretty much the same as it has been, but home runs are down a whole bunch. But I think you also go back, you know, is it that different from maybe 15, 16, 17? Like I said, 18, 19, there was a couple year period there where balls were flying out. So I definitely think they've done something to find a happy median.
Adam Duvall, first and third, one out, scoreless game. And foul back. This is a guy the Braves have to get going. Him and Dansby Swanson.
Yeah, but you know, and Dansby, I feel like we know goes through his hot and cold stretches. He also plays a premium shortstop, so I think sometimes you can live with it. Adam is a power hitting outfielder, and so for him, I think, you know, he just feel like he needs to get that one big hit, one big home run, and he can relax.
Golf to right. That should get the job done. There's the catch. Marcel will tag. Duvall puts it in play, and the Braves score first. ABC baseball. And I love the approach, Jeff. 2 balls hit hard, 3 balls hit hard the other way.
Yeah, and that's perfect example of, look, you know you got to get one. The last thing you want to do is roll over into a double play, Chip. Lets it get deep and gets easy RBI. Something positive.
So Atlanta cashes in the first of 2 2-strike hits. Darno at first, 2 outs for Travis Demeritte. I've been dying to ask who has more demerits, you or the Braves, but I think I know the answer.
Me by far.
Travis, though, a couple of hits, including a double. This one on the ground. And Horner will flip to second, and that will retire the side. The Braves score first in the second. They give Max Fried a 1-0 lead.
And if you're looking for a little pick-me-up on this Tuesday evening, Braves country, feast your eyes on this. Ronald Acuna Jr. working in the cage here at Truist before tonight's game. He had the day off in his rehab assignment with Gwinnett, having a day game this afternoon. And according to Brian Snitker, the plan for Acuna moving forward is that tomorrow he will play 7 innings, and then on Thursday it'll be 9 innings, and they really want to see how his body reacts to back-to-back days of work. So far he has passed every test with flying colors. In fact, he said he is scaring the entire training staff to death with the way he is diving around all over guys and scoring from second on infield hits, if you will. But he is chomping at the bit to go, and certainly is very close. As he said, passing every test right now. They just want to see these last few games from Ronald Acuna Jr.
That's always good news, Kelly. Thank you. That's a great report, and it is great to see Ronald doing what he's doing in the minor leagues, Jeff, without any subconscious worry, it seems, about that horrible knee injury he suffered last year. As Ian Happ drives this ball to deep left field, and that one is gone. A 3rd inning leadoff home run for Ian Happ, snapping a streak of 47 innings in a row without a homer allowed by Max Fried. Game tied 1-1.
Happ off to a good start this year for the Cubs. Max hung this changeup. You can see just kind of floated down the middle. We're used to seeing that changeup chip kind of go away with a little bit of tail. That one he kind of pulled over the plate, and Happ didn't miss it.
So Happ now 3 for 3 with 2 homers off Max Fried. And the game tied at 1 for Nico Hoerner, the shortstop. And that shot the other way. 2 opposite field hits for the Cubs in this game. One by Contreras, now one by Hoerner, and back-to-back knocks have him in business for the top of the order.
Going back to Kelly's report, if you thought that Ronald was not going to be diving and doing everything, they don't know him real well.
But that's how you have to play if that's your style,
for sure.
Right?
And I think at that point, that's why we'll see you play him the next couple days. But eventually, if you know he's doing all that stuff down there, you'd rather have him do it up here. And look, I think this team could use a little bit of a spark right now. Eddie Rosario going down.
Michael Hermosillo with a runner aboard and nobody out after the half homer. And that's in for a strike. After this series wraps up, the Braves head to Texas for a date with the Rangers. Then our first look at the surging New York Mets, who are atop the division. It'll be a 4-game series up at Citi Field, including a doubleheader next Tuesday. One thing we've learned about Max Fried, you better not make him mad. Right? We saw that in the World Series last year when he got stepped on. It was almost like the Incredible Hulk.
Well, I think what he's done now is he's done a lot better job of when he does get angry, he channels it in a different way where he doesn't start trying to overthrow, because that's when you're working against the grain. For Max, I think he's done a good job of figuring out how to navigate that now and control himself.
Look at that pitch. Carved up Hermosillo for his 3rd strikeout, 1 away. And here's Suzuki.
Yeah, if you're a young hitter, Chip, and you've never seen that kind of curveball, because I promise you this, you're not seeing that in AAA or AA.
Heck, you don't see it much at this level either.
No, exactly.
It's a plus pitch. So here's Max's second look at Suzuki. 13 walks, 17 strikeouts for Seiya Suzuki. Ball 1. Suzuki, like any player that comes from overseas to the North American major leagues, at a distinct disadvantage in that he hasn't seen these opponents except on film. That hasn't bothered him, however, batting .354 coming in. And out of play, foul, 2 balls and a strike.
Great hitting guru Charlie Manuel once said, if you can hit, you can hit.
And this guy can. Started his big league career with an 8-game hitting streak. And as we said, a whopping .492 on base coming into tonight's action for Chicago.
It's tough to get to a good start in Chicago too, for I'm sure if it's cold up there usually in April.
Well, the weather should be warm by the time we get there. We see the Cubs in mid-June. No guarantee.
That's the perfect time to go there.
No guarantees at Wrigley Field. We remember that game a couple years ago the Braves played. Snow and wind.
Yeah. And I wish I knew a restaurant up there that you had connections at.
Have to think about that. 2 balls and a strike for Suzuki. On the ground, double play ball. Tricky hop. Dansby stayed with it. Ozzie the turn, and in time. Double play retires the side. The Ian Happ homer ties our game at 1 apiece. We start anew in the home third with Dansby set to lead it off. 6-4, 3 and out. Fried getting the ball on the ground early. Truist will donate $755 to the Braves Foundation's Henry Louis Aaron Fund with a minimum commitment of $1 million. As of this morning, 20 homers by the Braves for $15,100 raised. That's a very worthy cause. Let's see if Dansby and company can add to that total. Swanson, Albies, and Matt Olson coming up. First pitch swing, little pop, shallow center. Hermosillo broke back, but recovers and makes the play for out number 1. Back to the top, and Ozzie Albies, who popped out.
I'm talking to Snit today before the game. He said the thing, too, he's excited about getting Ronald back is being able to slot Ozzie down in that 5-6 hole, give him more RBI opportunities.
Albies with 6 homers, 11 RBIs. I think is the point of that. I'd like to see those homers come with some more guys on. Bigger damage, and he goes the other way. Albies just served that up the middle, and the Braves have their 3rd hit. Albies with a 1-out single.
Well, good job here. Look, Stroman is trying to get you to have the big swing. You know, he's got so much movement on the ball, whether it's a sinker, split, and here Ozzie just puts the bat on the ball. And for him, especially with the infield, if you get it, the infielders going either way, Ozzie's going to beat it out.
We talk about professional ego in a game.
Oh, yeah.
As a major league player, you've got to have it to survive at this level. Is it hard to put that aside when you face a guy like Stroman and do exactly what Ozzie just did?
Well, yeah, and that's usually, I hate to say it, when you run into the home run because you're in a good hitting position. He hangs one where you can handle it. But if you go up there looking to do damage, a lot of times he's going to carve you up. That's what was so nice to me about that inning with the sac fly Duvall, knowing, look, I just need this 1 run right here, and he was able to do it.
1 ball, 1 strike for Matt Olson. Hit high in the air toward left. Going back is Happ, shy of the track, and now 1 step on the warning track. Pulls that in for out number 2. That'll bring up Jeff. Austin Riley, he's our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature.
Yeah, Austin, last 5 games, he's done some damage. 4 hits in his last 8 ABs, all for extra base hits with 2 home runs and 2 doubles, hitting .324 here at Truist Park this year.
Riley grounded out his first time. Big hole right side for him if he can shoot the gap. That shaves off an outside corner. Pretty pitch. One game, home third in Atlanta. High in the air to center. Hermosillo moves to his left, and Stroman is out of the inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. 4th inning coming around. Glad you're with us tonight. We're tied at 1. Braves fans, the 2021 Braves World Series Champions NFT collection's available now. The exclusive new collection commemorates the Braves' historic season with 3 NFTs: the World Series ring, epic moments from the 2021 postseason, and the World Series flag. Learn more and get yours before Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern at MLB.candy.com. Ian Happ has homered for the Cubs. Adam Duvall has a sac fly for the Braves, and we're tied 1-1 after 3 tonight. Patrick Wisdom leads off inning number 4 versus the Braves lefty. Oh, up and in. Whoa, wake you up. That one shoulder high. for Patrick Wisdom. Fly ball center. Duvall twisting and turning with the wind blowing in. He'll have room shy of the track. And there's out number one. Wilson Contreras, Jeff's buddy, is the next hitter. First, a quick message from Truist.
Jessica was born to care.
That's my best friend. She don't need no.
Miss Hogan's class? It's Atlantis.
Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care.
Contreras doubled inside the bag in the second inning and was left stranded at third base by the Cubs. Chicago 7-9 on the year. 5 of their 9 losses have been by 1 run. I think, Jeff, that's indicative of the youth on this Chicago offense. As this one's popped up softly toward first. Contreras, a jam sandwich here in the 4th inning. He's a quick second out.
Yeah, you got to love that. The 1 pitch out, an opportunity for keep that pitch count down, keep going. Besides that hanging changeup, Max has been on the attack. Got some quick outs.
So here is Schwindel. Breaking ball got him on strikes in the second inning. When you face a rebuilding team, you learn on the fly, just like the fans are. Since last July, Schwindel has the 3rd most hits in the National League. Austin Riley first on that list. Freddie Freeman, who I'll bet's watching our game out west for the Dodgers play tonight, has 92. Schwindel has 90.
Wow.
So that's pretty heady company. But he's in a quick 2-strike hole with 2 men out. Bases empty, 1-1 game, each club with 3 hits. Down and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I love watching this guy pitch. I love seeing the evolution of young hurlers. Remember, Max was in the bullpen in his early days with the Braves. He's now one of the game's elite starters, left-handed or otherwise. After a marvelous year last year that saw him win 14 games, 12 of those 14 wins came in his final 20 starts. So as the games got bigger, he got better. And he's awfully good tonight, 2-2.
Don't mention he's won Gold Gloves the last 2 years too.
And history, the last Silver Slugger among major league pitchers now that there's the DH.
That's right. Big game-winning hit against the Fish last year.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And out of play.
I think, too, not everybody needs it. There's certain guys that come up, but I think there's something to be said sometimes for a guy working out of the pen and kind of working into the rotation. I know he's done a lot more back in the old days, but think about Scherzer. Max Scherzer started in the bullpen for Arizona for what, a year and a half?
Almost as an apprenticeship, I guess is the way I would put it, and that's meant with no disrespect to relief pitchers or guys that
no, because
start.
There's plenty of guys that come up just straight and do a great job. I'm just saying sometimes I think that can, I'm sure like anything you learn maybe how to pitch, how to attack guys more instead of just being thrown into the fire. For Max, he's come along real nice with his progression on how he's done it.
This will go down as one of the great acquisitions for the Braves. Remember, Fried was a San Diego Padre and had gone through Tommy John surgery. They brought him along slowly, and now he's at the top of the Atlanta rotation. Little flare into left field and a well-earned single for Schwindel. You can see why he's in that top 3 list in men in the league with hits.
Well, he just spoiled about 4 good pitches. That ball even jammed him a little bit, but big strong guy was able to throw it out to left field.
And that high finish with the bat again just reminds me of Goldschmidt. And Max bummed about that. So a few extra tosses here in the 4th with Yan Gomes coming up. Max got him to roll out in the 2nd inning. Not all the hits have been hard. Happ certainly was, but everything else has been per normal for Max Fried. 86 to 90 miles an hour exit velocity, but they all count. As that's in for a strike. Good stop by Travis. Even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. I know Max has had good luck against the Cubs, but it has to be a little uncomfortable, I would think, the first time or two through the order. So many new faces wearing the Chicago uniform. Gomes, though, not one of them. They've matched up before. Check of the runner at first. Schwindel, Fried, ready, and the 1-1. And now he's way ahead.
Again, you know, only 3 strikeouts for Max so far tonight. Usually we see him sometimes rack up more, but I think that goes to show you he's doing a good job tonight of pitching to contact. We said there's some aggressive hitters. Why not take advantage?
And he's facing a team doesn't strike out much.
Yeah.
They'll make you work. So far, just 54 pitches with 2 outs in the 4th inning. And a lovely night. 63 degrees at first pitch. And that's out of play. Still 1-2. What a treat it is to watch a big league game at Truist Park. The ballpark continues to buzz. Braves are looking for their 8th win tonight. And are tied with the Cubs at 1 apiece. The pitch. Driven toward right. Demeritte over near the line in the corner. Foul ground. Sliding try. What a great grab.
Wow.
Fried loves it. Why wouldn't you? Great athletic play by Travis Demeritte.
I didn't think he had a chance at this, but look at this. Comes, knows where the wall's at. Makes a great play. Pitcher appreciates that.
Cubs are done in the 4th. 1-1 game.
Let's take a look at this replay. Travis Demeritte, you talk about a play to end the inning. Look how far he had to go down the line. As you see, our Zaxby's indescribably good play where the wall kind of cuts out too. Was able to make a great play, save Max Fried some pitches. That was indescribably good.
And you should know, terrific right fielder in your day here in Atlanta. And Demeritte got scraped up on that slide on the warning track.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. That area down there is pretty hard.
Bouncing ball, Ozuna. And Wisdom at third throws him out. Recoil of the bat might have gotten a piece of Contreras. Looks like he's all right. And Marcel is retired for the first time.
And the worst part about those little strawberries he's got now, those things open the rest of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, because it'll start healing for 3-4 days. And, you know, maybe in Texas Friday night he's going to slide in a second. It just opens right back up. He's fighting a losing battle.
Swing and a miss. D'Arnaud, strike 1 to him.
But worth the catch.
Well, it's a great play. Look, let's be honest. The Braves have been looking for a spark both offensively and in the outfield defense.
Absolutely. It's been a long time since we've, I don't want to say, you know, have gotten on, but have had to point out. Usually the Braves the last 4 or 5 years has been one of the best defensive teams in all of baseball. Infield defense still as good as anybody in the league. But the outfield defense has definitely not what we've seen in years past. Obviously, the getting Ronald back will help with that.
No balls, 2 strikes with 1 out for D'Arnaud. The pitch didn't chase that. And it doesn't just manifest itself, Jeff, in errors, right? It's balls that you don't get to. Base fly balls or that drop in for hits.
Oh yeah.
We've seen those add up for Atlanta as D'Arnaud out on a check swing. There's out number 2. Let's take a look at our landmark player comparison. And it is the Atlanta outfield, which will get a spark when Ronald comes back. But certainly Demeritte a nice start to his defensive night tonight.
Well, look, if he continues to make plays defensively, Chip, he might find himself in the lineup a little bit more, as you saw that. You've got guys playing a little bit of everywhere at certain places, but more than anything, like you said, to me, it's you don't have to have spectacular plays, but make the plays you have to make. You know, if you're going to choose to play a little bit deeper, I'm fine with it, but then when that ball's hit over your head, you got to catch it.
Well, I was going to say, I'll use Orlando Arcia as an example, and I'm not picking on him. He's a shortstop by trade. He's a great athlete. But that play he tried to make the other day was not an easy one, as Stroman has an easy 4th inning and shuts down the Braves in order. To the 5th already in Atlanta. We've got a 1-1 game. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Truist Park. Buy and manage game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Nick Madrigal leads off. 7-8-9 for the Cubs in the 5th inning. Zipping right along, as Ernie Johnson used to say. We're through 4 innings and a 1-1 game. I'm getting a look from Hal Galima, our stat man, because I mentioned we're zipping right along.
That was like what we talked about during the pregame today. Those guys, superstitions.
Yeah.
Apparently Hal's superstitious.
Yep. He wears the same lucky sweater every home game. Braves never lose with that magical sweater. And you never talk about time of game when it's a fast affair.
Yeah.
Were you superstitious as a player?
I told those guys in the pregame I was early in my career. I went different ways to Turner Field, all that, and then eventually, you know, you're either hitting a home run or striking out. It didn't really matter which way you drove to the field. It's like in Vegas when you have a 6 and 5 and you know, you want the card up or down. It doesn't matter. The card ain't changed.
2-2 pitch. That's on the ground to Riley. Boy, he's so slick at first base, or third base, I should say. Riley's an outstanding defender. Madrigal's retired for out number 1.
Just give me my 2 and flip over and bust and let me win that way. I don't have to have a face card.
Don't think, just play, right? Here's Ian Happ. Second homer for Happ. It was a no-doubter. As Jeff said, it was a hanging changeup, and Happ, a good big league hitter, didn't miss it. One of the 3 Cubs hits. Strike 1. Nice pregame ceremony before the game that we'll talk about in a little bit. Sean Newcomb's here. Remember, the Braves traded him for Jesse Chavez earlier in the week. And 2 former Braves that are on the Cubs pitching staff were honored before the game with their World Series rings. Drew Smiley and Chris Martin. There's this one chopped to third again. Riley charges, got a good hop. Boy, he can really throw on the run, but that one skips past Olson and into the camera well. That's a shame. Happ's aboard. Hit and an error.
They gave that a hit?
I would assume they would.
Nah.
We'll see. Long hop.
E5 throwing error.
Oh, you're right. 2-base error. So Austin with a couple of errors in the last couple of games after going 75, including postseason, with just 1. So here's Nico Horner. He's got a hit. Runner at second again for Chicago. 1 out. And a little high. 1 ball, no strikes.
That's a play you see Austin make 99 out of 100 times.
Hey, but even the good ones have a mistake at the hot corner. Happened to Nolan Arenado last night. Wild throw that helped the Mets come back from a 2-0 deficit down to their last strike against the Cardinals in St. Louis. They beat the Redbirds 5-2 in game 1 of that series. Here it's 1-1. We're in the 5th. That's the count for Nico Hoerner. Sharply hit and pulled foul. It's 1-2. Max ready. Here it comes. Right back to the mound. Got a man in the rundown. Breaking too quickly was Happ, and the Braves got him at second base. Ozzie Albies dives in and takes care of Ian Happ, who made a base running blunder. That helps the Braves' cause for out number 2.
Yeah, ball right back to Max, and great job here by Max. You're taught right away, Chip. Run a little bit, get rid of the ball quick. He did it. Textbook, gave it to Ozzie, who got the easy tag out.
So runner at first, 2 away. Back to the top, and Michael Hermosillo, the Chicago center fielder. He's grounded out and struck out. And the 69th pitch of the game for Fried is a beauty. Swing and a miss, strike 1. On the delay, ball in the dirt, and Nico Hoerner moves up.
Wild pitch.
Good job by Travis keeping this in front, but good read. Hoerner never had a chance.
So that scored a wild pitch. Another Cub runner in scoring position, but with 2 outs. Max tried the inside corner, ball 2. 2-1. In the Braves' 5th, Duvall, Demerit, and Dansby are coming up. One more, Max, and turn it back over to the offense. Hoerner a good lead. And now time. Two balls, 2 strikes to the Cubs center fielder. Ow.
Right on that pad, it sounded like. Take a listen. Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. You didn't wear an elbow guard, did you?
I didn't, no.
No. I'm sure there were days you wish you had.
Yeah. Faced Danny Baez. I wish I had it. I'd have gone back. I never felt like feeling restricted.
Sounds about right.
That's
Hermosillo still feeling it at first. 2 on, 2 out. And here's Seiya Suzuki, who struck out and hit into a double play. So might have a better idea of what Max Fried has. This guy's been a terrific run producer in the early days for the Cubs.
Yeah, 429 with runners in scoring position so far in his young career here.
Cubs had a leadoff double in the second, couldn't bring it around. Now 2 on 2 out for the Chicago right fielder. First pitch, bouncing ball to third, foul. Strike one. Pitch is beginning to pile up just a bit for Max.
And making him work this inning.
Yeah. Again, an error. Now a hit batsman. They have 2 base runners without benefit of a hit. Two fast runners. Hermosillo, the center fielder, a giant lead off first with Olson playing behind him with 2 outs. And quickly it's 0-2.
Yeah, good job. Nice slider low and away. So you went fastball in, then you went slider low and away.
Wonder if he's conscious of that pitch. Remember his first at bat, he fouled one off his ankle. So he's got him 0-2. Let's see if he can finish him off. Not with that pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Suzuki, the 5th batter, and you see Max 20 pitches. 37 pitches combined in his last 2 frames. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Struck him out. Suzuki rung up for the second time. He pulled a string and erases 2 Chicago base runners. Max Fried needed that. He has struck out 4, and the lower third coming up in a tie game in the Atlanta 5th. Got the lower third for the Braves. Stroman and Fried living up to advanced billing. Both starters looking terrific so far in the middle innings. Just 7 combined hits. Adam Duvall has the Braves RBI with a sacrifice fly. Let's see if he can hit a big fly and put the Braves in front. Off the end of the bat. Strike 1. Stroman ready is 1-1 pitch and fouled back.
There's that splitter. That thing kind of just floated up and stayed up.
You can see what Marcus was talking about after he evaluated his first couple of starts. Some pitches are really good, but others are frankly mistakes.
Yeah, not what he's necessarily wanted.
But for whatever reason, whether his stuff is A+ or not, he's been tough on the Braves. Pop fly back toward us and out of reach. A ball and 2 strikes. Stroman 4-1, a 2.10 lifetime ERA against Atlanta. But entering tonight's play, 13 earned runs in 13 1/3 innings after a couple of starts and 3 homers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Charlie Morton and Mark Leiter Jr. hook up tomorrow night. And then Kyle Wright, who's been a terrific story for the Braves, will face his former teammate Drew Smyly, who's in rotation with Chicago.
They really like the pitching matchups for the Braves coming into this series.
Center cut, and Duvall fouled it away. Stroman got away with a mistake. Gentle breeze blowing toward the Cubs bullpen with a 2-2 count. Swing and a miss. That is strikeout number 2 for Stroman. First one came last inning. He set down 6 straight. Now a quick message from Marietta Toyota.
In Marietta, businesses come and go, and some remain and grow. Visit us at MariettaToyota.com to learn why it's always better in Marietta.
Here's Travis Demeritte, 0 for 1, but a great catch in foul ground. Back in the 4th inning. And he drives the first one the other way to right. That ball is high off the bricks and gone. Travis Demeritte, an opposite field home run. And the Braves are back in front.
Travis with his last home run coming on 9-12-19 versus the Yankees, Chip. Coming into tonight, Stroman, as I said, 6 of 10 hitters on cutters with 5 extra base hits. Travis gets a cutter out over the plate and does not miss it. Lines that thing into the right field seats.
So on the first pitch, Demeritte puts the Braves in front. And look, let's face it, Atlanta's looking for offensive help in the outfield. They're looking for defensive help, and Demeritte's giving them both.
It's a cutter trying to go away, backed up over the heart of the plate. Travis with a beautiful swing. We talked about Adrianza last camp. It's always a play or two that kind of opens the manager's eyes in camp. And this was one guy that Snit, when talking to him down there, said, man, I really like the way he swung the bat from the first day I saw him in the cage.
Well, you remember, he was a Brave. He was a farmhand here. Traded to the Tigers for Shane Green. Went to Detroit. Had some success. But made his way back to Atlanta. And now with an opportunity here, partner, to earn more playing time. And look, real simple. You catch it and you hit it, you're going to play.
Absolutely.
So Demeritte talking about the cutter that Stroman has had trouble with. Atlanta takes advantage with Dansby Swanson. And that's fought off foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And tonight so far, I think the slider's been a pitch that I feel like he's done a really good job at. You saw that one right there. But for some reason for him right now, whether it's grip, whatever, he has not found the cutter yet, and he's paid again tonight.
So the 4th Atlanta hit, a home run. As Dansby takes upstairs, full count. When the Braves offense has been at its best this year, the bottom has fed the top. Chance for Dansby to get aboard here with 1 out. Ozzie Albies next. We are in the 5th. The pitch. Sharply hit and past Nick Madrigal. Dansby Swanson, big turnaround first. He's going to scramble back to first. And back-to-back hits for the Braves, who do turn the lineup over.
Well, let's take a look at Demeritte's home run again. See, that cutter just didn't do much. Kind of just floated on the outside. And he lined it right off over the right field fence. Good for him. Like you said, you can use a spark in so many different ways.
Dansby at first for Ozzie now. The pitch. Just inside. Ball one. Braves are getting their homers, 21 of them now on the year. Demerit's the 18th solo homer hit by the Braves. Look out. A little more pine tar, Ozzie. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ozzie Albies, as he regrips, is our ultra strong stats man, brought to you by Charmin.
I would say he likes playing the Cubs. What do you think?
Yeah.
Sid safely in 20 of the 22 games. Last year at Safely in all 5 games played, 6 of his 9 hits were extra base hits. It's doing some work.
1 ball, 1 strike. Contreras snap throw back to first, and Dansby back safely. Contreras loves to show off his arm. It's a good one, and as strong and as accurate as that arm is, he can help shut down the running game. I'm not saying he's Yadier Molina back there, but this guy is a really good player.
He's really the only guy I think that's been kind of untouchable for them as they go through this rebuild, wanting to keep him, and I don't blame him.
Foul back for the Braves second baseman Ozzie Albies. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A Travis Demeritte homer, his first since 2019 in the major leagues. Contreras took some punishment there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So when the Braves got Demeritte from AAA Gwinnett, they got him at a hot time. 10 of his 13 hits for extra bases. And he's got a couple of extra base hits with the big league club, a double and now a homer. So you never know when the light goes on.
Yep.
And you love it when guys get an opportunity and they take advantage of it. You mentioned Adrianza, Pablo Sandoval, guys that did that for the Braves in the early days last year. 2-2. Good eye. Full count.
I would think you're going to see some action here with Dansby at first. 3-2, get runners in motion.
They are all bunched up by the second base bag, and on the right side with a full count, runner is going. The pitch is lined to center, and that's down for a base hit. It gets by. That's going to score Dansby. Ozzie around second. He's going to go to third. Here's the relay. It won't be made. The Braves force the action. Hermosillo makes a mistake in center. The Braves add to the lead, and a runner at third, 1 out.
Cardinal rule in the outfield, Chip. If you're going to come, you got to keep coming. But more than anything, you have got to keep the ball in front of you. And right here, you can see goes, and then at the end, it gets by him. Break for the Braves, too.
So Tommy Hotovy, the Cubs pitching coach, is out to talk to Marcus Stroman. Braves have a couple of runs on 3 hits. Big error as well. Atlanta extends the lead. It's 3-1. And as the Cubs chat, let's enjoy a quick message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese. Remixed by Zaxby's.
Nobody up in the Chicago bullpen as Ozzie stands at third.
Gets to third on a 2-base error, E8. Swanson the third on the hit, Cole on the E8, no RBI.
So Albies singles, a 2-base error from Hermosillo, no RBI. But the Braves add on for Olson, who's 0 for 2. Infield in right side for Matt. And that's inside. Ball one. I don't envy the Cubs infield defense in this spot.
This does not look fun.
With Matt Olson up there in this lightning fast infield.
Right on the edge of the grass.
1-0 pitch.
I got away with one. Just trying to come in on him and left that out over the plate.
Three runs on 6 hits for the Braves, who lead 3-1. Time to get greedy. The pitch from Stroman. Swing and a miss. He tried to hit it over the chop house and came up empty.
Good location. Up in the zone, in on his hands. He's trying everything he can to not let Matt get extended here.
As we told you, Olson, #1 in the National League in hits, on base more than any other player in the major leagues entering tonight's play. And 0 for 2 at this point. He'd settle for a fly ball of depth to bring home Ozzie Albies from third base. Again, Stroman ready. Here comes his 2-2. Struck him out of the inside corner. Olson didn't think so, thought it was up and in, and Stroman's second strikeout comes here in the 5th inning.
Boy, that's just I mean, it's a tough pitch to swing. Tough pitch to take.
So a big pitch for Stroman, second of his 3 strikeouts. Sets it up for Riley. In this Atlanta 5th, Austin 0 for 2 tonight. Ground out, fly out for the Braves third baseman. He's got the whole right side to play with. Swing and a drive, center field. Hermosillo on the run to the track. Yeah, at the wall. Makes the play. Riley smoked that baby, but to straightaway center, and that will retire the side. But Travis Demeritte, it's been a long time coming. His first homer since 2019. It gives the Braves the lead. It's now 3-1.
By Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
How about a shutdown inning for Max Fried as we move to the 6th? Travis Demeritte put the Braves in front with a line drive solo homer to right. And now Max, with a 2-run cushion, will face the 3-4-5 Chicago hitters. A run on 4 hits. That run, an Ian Happ homer. Fried had to labor a bit in the 5th inning. 22 pitches or so.
Yeah, you had a quick inning here. He might run back out there, but I think for Max here, make sure you get through this inning.
Hanger, and Wisdom hits it high toward left. Ozuna drifting back, but he'll have just enough room. And Wisdom hit a high towering flyout for the first here in the 6th inning.
We've seen a lot of balls just, I mean, that one was high, like Aguilar the other day, but go right to the warning track.
What we are told.
Which you wonder, though, as it gets warms up here, those balls tend to carry out of this place.
There was a 42-degree launch angle, so it did go straight up. But we're told with the new baseballs that the distance on average, fly balls, home runs, 2 feet shorter. That might have been the difference on that ball to left off the bat of Wisdom. Fried will certainly take it. Here's Contreras, swing and a miss. Great article on that in The Athletic. Eno Saris and Ken Rosenthal broke down all the physics and the metrics of the baseballs that were manufactured after last season. There's only one style baseball in play in the major leagues this year, as opposed to last year when there were 2 different balls in use because of supply chain issues due to COVID.
Oh, yeah, and then now you got the humidor in every stadium too, so. Now Max doing a good job now. Contreras, who's a great hitter but very aggressive hitter, he's expanding a little bit. But you wonder for Wilson as the year goes on, you know, you don't have as much production around you that he's used to. Does he start chasing a little bit, trying to do too much?
Fried's 1-2. Little tapper. Ozzie ought to scoop that up. And that's the second out. Boy, as you said, Jeff, a quick and easy inning would be just what Fried would love.
Yeah, 83 pitches now. If you're able to get this out in, you know, 3-4 pitches, I think you'll see Max come back out for that 7th.
In case you wondered, Max pitch count high 93. That was in that masterpiece out in LA over 7 innings.
Well, and he's to the point now where he's really entering the prime of his career, where that, to me, you know, pitch count for him and recovery shouldn't be as much of a problem. You don't worry about it, at least.
Schwindel's been a tough out. He's 1 for 2. He's seen a lot of pitches and didn't get that one as he goes to an E for strike 1.
I think as we've seen Max get better and better, he just doesn't throw the curveballs much anymore, and I think that's why it's so effective. Guys just don't see it all game. You're seeing him mix that changeup, slider now, and really throwing all 4 pitches, you know, at any time. We remember we used to see Max first fastball and that big curveball, and he'd mix those others in.
He peers in for the sign. The 1-1 pitch is foul back.
There you go. Curveball, changeup, came back with another changeup, and it's just as a hitter, if all I got to worry about is that fastball, curveball, even though the curveball is really good, if you see it up, sometimes you can wait on it. Now you have 4 pitches you have to worry about.
Nothing for the Cubs offense to eliminate from Max Fried's arsenal to this point. 1-2 count. Now 2-2. I'm trying to remember in the era in which you played. Were there many big guys with big curveballs like Max Fried that you remember?
Ben Sheets from the right side.
Okay.
Had to be Adam Wainwright, Chris Carpenter, who taught him. But from the left side, it was, you see Max. So he just kind of fell over.
Awkward landing.
Ted Lilly.
Yep, from the left side.
Some of those guys. Randy Wolf. They didn't have 96 either, though.
But that's it. We're kind of having to scratch our heads to think of guys with a big curve like
Kershaw. I mean, Clayton.
But it's a valuable weapon, and the reason I bring it up, your arrow was really fastball slider.
Yes,
more
it
so
was.
than curveball.
Well, you just don't see it a lot, and that's what I think these guys that are hitting, they don't see that. Now when you really mix in those other pitches that Max has, it's plus pitches. The hitter has a lot of trouble.
Schwindel, base is empty. In the air toward right. Demerit should catch that. Fried breezes through the 6th. We'll see if he comes out for the 7th. He's got a lead 3-1 in game 1. Delta Club. The Delta Sky 360 Club is Truist Park's all-inclusive luxury club, expanded to include over 8,000 additional square feet. Other updates include 9 chef-curated food stations, 2 private retail shops. And be the first to know when seating becomes available by joining the premium priority wait list at braves.com/premium. Good matchup in game 1. Fried and Stroman, the Braves left-hander, on top 3-1. Middle of the Braves order is coming up, starting with Marcell Ozuna. I'm with you. I think that's been Marcus's best pitch.
That slider's been good for him tonight. I think I go back that one backup one. Remember Travis d'Arnaud hit. Other than that, he's done a really good job with that pitch. But like we showed the replay of Travis's home run, that cutter, it really did nothing. And so that, you know, that's one of those pitches that if you're not getting that thing to cut off the outside corner with these big league hitters, they're going to square that up.
That's downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. You notice with Marcus Stroman, fashionable young man, Your belt's always supposed to match the shoes. Check him out. He's got the white spikes, got the white belt, looking sharp. The pitch is chopped toward third and foul. It's 2-2. See Wisdom, he's got the blue Cubs belt. There's the Cub third baseman. There you go. I like when the guys show a little style. Nothing wrong with that, with the spikes and the like.
Kind of like you up here. Your style's come a long ways, though, in 3 years.
That just missed. What do you mean? 3 balls, 2 strikes. Our producer Gretchen Caney says nowhere to go but up. And I think that's
true.
Very.
I'll finish it.
Thanks a lot. Here's the pitch. Swinging a shot to center. Hermosillo is there and makes that play. Ozuna's retired for the second time. There's the first out for Braves catcher Travis d'Arnaud.
Let me tell you, the hardest ball hit all night might have been Austin Riley's. Flew out to the, I don't want to say flew out. He lined that ball out right to the center field wall last inning.
Couple of 2-strike hits for Atlanta in the second led to the Braves' first run. That was scored on a Duvall sacrifice fly. The Braves got 2 in the 5th. The Demerit homer. And then the Albies single and 2-base error brought home Dansby Swanson. And that's where we stand with a 3-1 score. Off the end of the bat and into the seats. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Great Tuesday night crowd here in Atlanta. What do you think?
It's been awesome. I mean, you know, even during school like this to see, I think probably what, 32, 33, 34,000.
Well, what's your guess? Pitch in the air to center. Hermosillo on the run, still sprinting. That ball is caught up against the wall. What a great grab.
Wow.
He made one defensive mistake, but boy, he's making up for it. That was a tremendous catch. If he doesn't make it, that's at least a double.
Not only that, Chip, to be your first time playing at this park, that's 2 or 3 balls he's gone back on. Had a great beat on it. That's a great hustle catch right there. And you see Stroman, your pitcher will appreciate that.
Now, we won't be in Chicago until mid-June. I wonder if Michael will go up to the bricks as strongly as he did against the padded ball here.
You can do that, but you better slam on the brakes quicker.
Here's Dickerson. That's pulled foul. So what do you think the crowd is tonight? What's your guess?
34, 269.
Al Galima says 32. 990. I'm going to say it's bigger. I'm going to say 35, 125. No matter what the number is, they've seen a great game.
Yep.
Pitch.
That's 3 straight balls now, Chip, that have been rifled to center field.
Yeah.
On line drives.
Yeah.
All out.
Hermosillo needs some oxygen.
Yeah.
Or a 20-second timeout. As I said, after the 2-base error cost the Cubs a run. 3 nice catches in support of Stroman. 2-1. That's hit hard toward right. Twisting and turning and caught by Suzuki.
Man.
3 bullets. And nothing to show for it in the Atlanta 6th.
To him, try to hit a home run for me. And he goes, I'll do my best. And she said, no, don't do your best, just do it. To which Travis responded with this shot to right, his first home run since September of 19. So he obviously had to pay off the faith and enthusiasm. Braves country loving it. Demeritte having himself a night. And gentlemen, that is the kind of investigative reporting I am here for, courtesy of Eric Young with that story. But we had to know what was going on down here. And she didn't want to hear, I'll try for a home run. She said, just do it.
Well, speaking of just do it, Travis, you better get that pretty lady tickets to the last 2 games of this homestand.
You can come tomorrow night again.
Yes.
I like it. Yeah, don't try. Just do it.
Will Smith is on.
That's what I try to tell my softball team.
Oh, you want to open that can?
No, we're good. Let's watch a game.
Yan Gomes will lead off. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run for Max Fried. No walks, 4 strikeouts. He hit a batter and gave up a home run. But he's in line for his 2nd win. If the night shift can do its good work. There's another group, Jeff, I think, that hasn't hit its stride quite yet. There have been brilliant moments, and there have been some, shall we say, uneven performances here in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, but I think for the most part, when they've had chances to lock down games, except the other night with the Florida thing, they've done a pretty good job.
Now to play foul by Gomes. Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes.
You know, it's still such a small sample size. You know, you can start looking at things and seeing numbers, but again, I always agreed with Bobby Cox's assessment until June 1st. You know, really, it's hard to get a full read on what your team is, what your bullpen is, what your starters are.
0-2 pitch. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because look, this is a team coming off a World Series. So much buzz and hype, and rightfully so, about what fans think and expect this team is capable of. It is hard to keep that in check because, quite frankly, you don't have your full team yet.
No, you don't. 100%.
Little number. Riley charges. A catcher running. Austin sets, fires, and got him by a step. That was a good play.
Well, great job, Chip, knowing who's running. Majority of guys, Austin's going to have to try to barehand that and throw it. Knowing Gomes is running, he was able to make sure he got the ball, took his time, and throws a strike to Matt.
He and Dansby, I think, have uncannily good internal clocks.
They got great internal clocks. Every once in a while, too, you'll see those guys, if they get a ball in the holes, just eat it, hold it, instead of trying to throw it away and let the guy get to second. So they're 2 really intelligent baseball players.
Nick Madrigal, the batter, he's bounced out twice and takes a strike from Smith.
You also forget, Chip, too, that, you know, at the end of the day, you're getting everybody's best shot when they come in. You're the World Series champs.
Right.
And every year you play, you knew who won the year before, and you'd go into their place. You want to beat them.
That's that target that we talk about all the time, and quite frankly, the Braves have had it on their backs for the last 4 years. Not as World Series champions.
But now you're getting it from everywhere, correct. Not just in the division. And I'm telling you, that New York this next week, I bet that play's going to be rocking up there Monday night.
4 games with the Mets, including a doubleheader. As Madrigal behind Smith, 0-2. But some unfinished business. Tonight's game with the Cubs, 2 more at home, then to Arlington, Texas. I'm looking forward to seeing the Rangers' new ballpark.
Yeah, me too.
The Braves have seen it before. Remember, they played the postseason in the bubble in Arlington, Texas. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Base is empty for the Cubs' second baseman. And that's popped into foul ground. Matt can't get there. And we'll try again. We got to love the good teammate that Will Smith is. You didn't hear the story when the Braves had a chance to get Kenley Jansen. Alex Anthopoulos called Will, who was the Braves closer last year, and got the save in the World Series. The last out, I should say, in the final game of the World Series. Can't be an easy phone call for a GM to make because you don't know the answer. When you say, look, we have a chance to get Kenley Jansen, would you be okay with that? And Will Smith said, if we have a chance for another parade and a ring, I'm all for it.
I think Alex knew, though, too, that was going to be an easy phone call because of the type of guy Will is.
And generally speaking, you'd think, well, what's the answer?
I just went 7 for 7 in the postseason. Come on.
On the ground, right to Dansby. Smith had Madrigal reaching and got him. That's out number 2. Stick around for the stretch presented by Georgia Natural Gas. It's a players only edition of the stretch.
Yep, keeping those 3 guys under control out there.
Nick Green, Peter Moylan, Brian Jordan. They're going to talk about Travis Demerit's big night tonight. Great catch. Go ahead, homer.
I think you said it best too. Look, we're looking for some outfield defense right now, guys, to shore things up.
And the stretch is always brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas.
Not only that, but to do it against a right-handed hitter. You know, when he came up, it was more, hey, he's going to play versus lefties, and now you're kind of given a little bit of an opportunity here, and I bet you're going to see him right back in that lineup tomorrow night.
1 ball, no strikes for Ian Happ, who homered. And look, let's face it, the Braves outfield, when they get Ronald Acuna Jr. back, is going to be much improved. If you are a fan of the defensive runs saved metric, Braves outfield is last in Major League Baseball. But they weren't tonight, as Riley handles that hot shot. Will Smith, 3 ground ball outs. Atlanta leads 3-1. Great pitching, good hitting from Travis Demeritte. Nick and company take it away. Here's the stretch.
The Stretch is brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Welcome into the stretch brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Brian Jordan, Peter Moylan, and Nick Green here with you. Guys, bad news today with Eddie Rosario. Blurry right eye, swollen right eye, goes on the IL. Somebody has to step up. Travis Demeritte gets to start today, and all he's done is do great things, BJ.
You know what? And I knew before the game that was going to happen. The way he took hits off the bat, doing batting practice, working on his defense, and right there he goes out there, makes a great defensive play. And how about this, guys? His first home run of the season. He gives the fan a handshake who said, "Hit me a home run." I love it.
Coachable, that's what they call that, right? Coachable. Hit me a home run and he goes out and does it. But this is the guy that hit 280 in AAA with 21 homers last year. So Snit mentioned that he was unlucky not to make the team out of spring training. So for a guy to step up, we need someone to step up. He's playing D, he's hitting the ball, outstanding.
Hey, remember too, he was a second baseman that learned how to play the outfield in 2018. So he's done a great job. We've seen that defense on display. We know that he has power. Who knows what the rest of the season is going to hold as far as him in this outfit's concerned. But Acuna will be back.
Yes,
somebody has to step up. Hopefully Demeritte gets more opportunities. He's looked great today. And before we get you guys back to the action, we need to hear a quick word from our friends at Georgia Natural Gas.
Ready to play ball with a new gas company? Georgia Natural Gas knocks it out of the park with simple service and great rates. And when it comes to helping the environment, GNG's Greener Life program makes it as easy as paying your gas bill. Sign up with a home team today at GNG.com.
Great job on the stretch, fellas. This has been a very well-pitched game. I can't remember, Jeff, the last time we've gotten into the 7th inning of a big league game without a single walk.
Yes, it's been a while. You know, and look, Stroman, he gave up some bullets. Braves hit some balls hard tonight. With that being said, he pounded the strike zone, both these guys, and it's been a well-played ball game up to this point.
So the pride of Tennessee Tech, Ethan Roberts, is going to come on and replace Stroman. 6 innings for him, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and the Demeritte home run. David Ross has seen his bullpen do great work, a 2.54 collective ERA this year. Their job, trying to hold the Braves where they are and hope their bats come to life late.
Yeah, their bullpen has done a nice job. Their starting pitching has you know, made that bullpen work some, but they've kept them in the game.
So it'll be Duvall, Demeritte, and Swanson. Bottom of the order's done good work. Duvall a sac fly, Demeritte the homer. Dansby Swanson has scored a run. A little more insurance wouldn't hurt, as the Braves bat in the 7th inning of our opening game of the series. And that's downstairs, ball 1. If you're just joining us, Max Fried was excellent again. 6 innings, a 4-hit, 1-run ball. Max has not allowed a walk in his last 21 innings. His only blemish, the Ian Happ home run to lead off the Cubs' 3rd. Will Smith followed him with a 1-2-3 7th. So it sets up perfectly for the Braves with Matzik and then Kenley Jansen.
It's kind of what we envision, right? Smith, Matzik, Jansen, and the 7th, 8th, 9th. It's nice when it works out that way for you.
1 ball, 1 strike for Adam Duvall, who takes upstairs. Ball 2.
Braves only got 3 runs so far tonight, but to me it's not indicative of how they've hit the ball. They've hit some hard balls tonight right at guys. Much better swings.
And off a really good pitcher.
And much better just approach to me. I've seen a lot of balls go up the middle the other way, staying on it.
2-1 count. As a hitter, is that something you lean back on, or do you get stuck on, hey, I'm 0 for 3 or 0 for 4? Or do you say, hey, I hit the ball hard?
Well, I think, look, with this team and the guys that for the most part are in this lineup, they're in there every night. So there's no, to me, looking over your shoulder, if I don't get a hit tonight, I'm not in there tomorrow. So I think they can a little more kind of be at ease knowing, hey, my at-bats are getting there.
And as we all know, there are few managers better than Brian Snitker. As Duvall's ready for his 2-2 pitch. And he didn't get that. Swing and a miss for out number 1. I think one of Brian's great attributes, and there are many of them, is he understands the grind. He understands how being a boring everyday baseball player over the long run is a big asset. He will let a guy get himself out of a dry spell at the plate.
Yes. And that's the thing. You got these guys, and it's not like you got a lot of rookies in there, Chip. So you got guys with, you know, as you said, the back of your baseball cards. You know what they're going to be able to do, and that's why when you looked at Rosario and what finally came out with that, you kind of wondered, because it's like, man, that was a very prolonged kind of swinging at different things.
And you got
the outfield.
And you got some confirmation from Dr. Alan Kozarski, who's done LASIK surgery for so many around the organization, as to what exactly Eddie's going to be facing tomorrow with his surgery. And obviously we wish Rosario all the best and a speedy recovery. But anytime you hear about operations for a player's eyes, your heart flutters.
Yeah, Dr. Kozarski, one of the best eye guys around, has taken care of a lot of us for a long time. He said, I like to think of his issue as a non-resolving retinal swelling, which can be treated with an office-based laser procedure. So they feel very confident about what they're going to be able to do for him and get him back. But something that, man, it's got to be fixed. I was talking to Sin about today. He said it's amazing, you know, he was able to do kind of what he did.
Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So, Eddie, we wish you well in your surgery tomorrow. The Braves brought up William Woods to take Rosario's place on the injured list. This is Woods' first stint on a big league roster. So perhaps we'll see William before this series comes to a close against Chicago, as Demeritte takes ball 2. All around terrific night for Travis Demeritte. That's what I love about baseball. You never know who the star of the game is going to be. We didn't know that Demeritte was going to be in the lineup until about 3 o'clock today.
Yeah, right.
But he's had a great night, one of his best nights since 2019 in the show. As that's fouled away, we showed you the homer already, but how about this 4th inning catch?
And an inning that Max Fried started to have to kind of exert himself. As you see, this is our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Go a long ways to get that ball. And keep his eye on it. Makes a beautiful play to end the 4th.
And with that wall coming up, he hasn't played a lot here.
No, that wall, that's the one area where it kind of can be tricky. It sticks out.
So Demeritte, a terrific night. The pitch. And a swing and a miss. Roberts, a good breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts. And Dansby Swanson tries to keep the 7th alive for the Braves. Dansby's popped out and has singled. He scored the 3rd Braves run.
Attention media
31,990.
No one wins.
Were we all over?
Yep.
Still a great crowd for Tuesday night.
It is a great crowd.
Maddox bobblehead doll. Pretty good likeness, by the way, of Greg. Holding his 4 Cy Youngs.
Poor guy, 4 Cy Youngs.
1 ball, no strikes. For the Brave shortstop, and poked foul for an even count. Roger Clemens 7 Cy Youngs, Randy Johnson 5, Greg Maddux and Steve Carlton with 4. Those are your top Cy Young Award winners in Major League history.
I think Maddux year in year out was battling Smoltz and Glav also while I was here.
4 in a row starting in 1992. Hope we get to see Greg at the ballpark later this summer. The pitch off the net, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Maddux, of course, began his career with the Cubs.
See that swing by Dansby right there? I feel like that's when things are going to start to click for him. We talk about him going the other way, but found the ball off. He's letting it get a little deeper. When he does that, he usually sooner than later is going to find a nice little rhythm and get going.
Good take. Close call. Even count. Cutter, 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 slider. From Ethan Roberts. Swanson, the 9th place hitter for the Braves. The Cubs will have 9, 1, and 2 in the 8th. Against Tyler Matzik, we presume. Ozzy's next. The payoff pitch for the Braves shortstop. And he pulled a string, and Swanson is down on strikes. He struck out the side, and we go to the Chicago 8th.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity. The All-South Highway Safety Team. Always wear your seatbelt. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Phillies. The Phillies are home with the Colorado Rockies. Nick Castellanos makes a nice play up against the fence, and then things kind of got out of hand for Colorado. Ball gets away behind the plate. 1 run scores. Bad throw back to the pitcher. Another runner scores from second base, and the Phillies up 10-1 at Citizens Bank Park.
I was with Herman Marquez on the mound too tonight.
Braves have Tyler Matzik on the mound. Off to a great start. Facing Nico Horner, who's 1 for 2 in the game. Will Smith 1, 2, 3, 7, 3 ground ball outs. High fly right center, pretty deep. Duvall on the run, slowing as he hauls it in 3 steps shy of the wall. 1 out. Some of these balls that the Cubs are hitting will give you pause at Wrigley Field with the basket.
And it all depends what the wind's doing.
That's exactly right. Tonight it is appearing to blow in from right center toward the Cubs pen. Cool night, 63 degrees at first pitch. As we go back to the top, Michael Hermosillo is 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch. He made an error that cost the Cubs a run, but has made 3 really good catches in center, and was a little late at 95. No balls and a strike from Matzik. And Tyler misses high. It's 1-1. He went.
That's what's making Tyler even, better this year. He's starting to throw that slider a little more and keeping guys off his fastball.
Base is empty. A ball and 2 strikes. Did he get hit again? Wow, he did.
Got hit on the bounce. Spiked the slider and it hit him.
Well, that's problematic because that brings the tying run to the plate. Oh.
Off the ground to the kneecap.
So Seiya Suzuki has struck out twice and hit into a double play in his debut against the Braves staff tonight. But as you see, a very dangerous hitter. Lefty righty matchup. The pitch way high. Ball 1. Another double play ball would be welcome here. Things have a slight shift on for the Cubs right fielder. And didn't mean to, and that's off the screen foul. This young man said he's really eager and excited about the challenge of facing major league pitching after all those great years in the Japanese league. One of Japan's great stars, now a member of the Cubs.
You see a lot of those great players. They want to come over here and see what they can do. No difference. Reminds me of guys soccer going to the Premier League sometimes. I mean, they have great careers there, but it's been a lot of guys that have come over here and had a lot of success.
One ball, 2 strikes. Suzuki drives that toward right center. Good jump. Duvall still going to the warning track. He's got it. Runner all the way around second. Chance to double him up if you hurry. But the relay will get there. Oh, Hermosillo thought it was in the gap. Duvall tracked it down. And the Braves double him up in the 8th inning. Duvall wasn't sure where to throw it, but he hit the cutoff man.
Yeah, he didn't know what was going on. Got it back quick. And look at this ball hop on Dansby there. Oh, right over his head.
Former Braves pitchers Drew Smyly and Chris Martin receiving their World Series ring. Got a nice applause from the crowd here at Truist. And Cubs manager David Ross said, of course he has a couple of those rings, that he is very happy and a little bit jealous of those guys. But when he really lit up is when he got to discuss how happy he was for Brian Snitker. Of course, one of the coaches that he said he got to talk to a lot while he was here has continued to stay very close to him. And he goes, I know it's very well documented, the grind, all the hard work he put in and the journey it took for him to get here. But when you think about baseball lifers and his family, Ronnie, the kids, it really is so rewarding for him to be the man that took this team all the way. And he goes, it's just very fitting, the champion he is as a person, to be a champion now, of course, as a manager and on the field, guys. But I thought that was pretty cool. Of course, always good to see Rossi out here. And he did talk about his jewelry when he could,
Oh, yeah, he's got to brag on it a little bit, as he should. Definitely a guy that I know he's picked Snit's brain a lot on just different ways to manage clubs throughout the year, and they've got a close relationship.
I think it's safe to say that when David was a player here, his personality and the way he interacted with his teammates, he was a logical choice to think about him being a manager someday.
Yeah, 100%. got good temperament for it. And congrats to Drew Smyly and Chris Martin for getting their rings. I know Drew Smyly had his ups and downs at times here this year, but Game 4 of the NLCS, if you remember, he threw those 4 1/3 huge innings out there in LA.
And won, what, 11 games last year for the Braves. As Ozzie Albies facing Michael Rucker, was born in Columbus, Mississippi, went to high school in Washington State. Pitched in 20 big league games for the Cubs last year. High in the air to center. Hermosillo only had to run 3 steps for this one. He needs some new shoes. First quick message from Delta with 1 out.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
I think our StatCast tomorrow should be see if Hermosillo has ran an actual mile tonight.
That's an excellent idea.
I mean, he's been running all over center field all night, and then of course went all the way around second base on that last inning and had to get back.
It almost got domed on that.
Yeah, he did.
Relay throw from Dansby. Olson shot one foul and into the camera well beyond the Cubs dugout. And Matt quickly behind 0-2. Kenley Jansen up in the Braves bullpen, it appears. Yep. He'll have Wisdom, Contreras, and Schwindel with a 3-1 lead at the moment. And that'll roll foul. Charlie Morton and Mark Leiter Jr. match up tomorrow night. See if Charlie can get back on the beam.
You know, it's funny. You look at Charlie. Remember, he had a slow start last year, and to me, he's a guy that is. It gets warmer, and he gets that feel on that curveball more and more. There's one guy I'm not worried about. It's Charlie Morton.
Yeah, he.
As long as the miles per hour is still sitting there like we see at 95, and the brakes going, he's going to figure it out quick.
Well, that last start against the Dodgers, he threw one pitch that he wishes he hadn't, and that was to Freddie Freeman's nitro zone. And after that, he was very, very effective. Braves offense, though, ran into Tony Gonsolin, who was outstanding. So we'll have that for you at 7:20 first pitch. Braves live 6:30 here on Bally Sports. And that one knocked down the mound. Nice play by Rucker. And he recovers to take care of Olson, who's got an offer. 2 up, 2 down, and Austin Riley is the hitter. Don't forget, the Delta Club is available for you here at Truist Park, the Gold Glove Bar. 53 feet long, more than 30 different complimentary beer and wine selections. Great selection of spirits for purchase available too. Be the first to know when seating becomes available by joining the premium priority wait list at Braves.com. And that looks delicious.
Yep. That's all I got.
It does. 2 up, 2 down. We'll have to go check out the Gold Glove Bar after Game 3 of the series while we wait for the charter.
Why not? Let's go down there and see any former announcers. Former players who are announcers now, if their gloves sitting up there.
Can't imagine who that might be. As Riley is down a strike, it's 0-1. Austin is 0 for 4. Making good use of his home park. Riley came in hitting well over 300 here at Truist Park. Last 4 hits for him, extra bases. Can't wait to see where this kid's career takes him and the Braves. Good 2-strike hitter. Big RBI guy last year. Top 10 MVP votes. Bet you that happens for him again this year. It would be a shock if it didn't happen for Austin Riley.
He's off to another great start.
Hit high in the air to right. Suzuki going back, and he'll have room in front of the wall, and that will retire the side. To the ninth we go. Kenley Jansen is on for the Braves. He'll try to close out a 3-1 Atlanta win.
Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
3-1 as we head to the ninth. As Kenley Jansen comes on. Let's take a look at this play, Chip, just to finish the eighth inning. Matzik, Duvall all the way. Watch him look at first base, realize there's nobody there to hit the cutoff. Throws to Dansby, and he throws a strike. What was so impressive there was Olson's catch. Watch this in a second. Watch Duvall's eyes. You see, he looks to first, realizes I got to hit a cutoff man to get it there. And Olson being able to make that play. Camiso diving back in. What a play. Huge out. Keep score at 3-1 and now bring on the big guy.
And that big guy is Kenley Jansen. Guillermo Heredia takes over in left field for Marcell Ozuna. And Jonathan Villar will pinch hit to start Chicago's ninth. 2-run Atlanta lead. Villar, Contreras, and Schwindel, the scheduled Chicago hitters. Villar, another Cub that's had good luck so far this year. 341 average, 8 RBIs. Was with the Mets last year, so Braves ought to know this guy very well. Kenley Jansen trying to nail it down for Max Fried tonight. And Kenley's got an A+ fastball.
And that's another thing for Villar. Obviously, he's been around a lot, but for some of these younger hitters, they haven't quite seen Kenley's cutter coming at him.
Quickly 2 strikes. Kenley's trying to go 5 for 5 in saves. He's given up 3 runs. That was in his first appearance when the weather was so cold. That was.
Again, we say with closers, it takes 10, 12 games before that ERA gets back to where they like it to be.
Yeah, that was a throwaway game, really.
And they were all bloops, too. That was the thing. Nothing was hit hard that night.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody on or out. And Jansen blows him away. 93 for out number 1.
Just, I mean, look at him. Suzuki, Travis d'Arnaud puts the glove right on the corner and he hits it and beats him to the spot.
Here's Contreras. An opposite field double in the second. Cubs couldn't bring him around after he led off that inning. He's popped out and grounded out since. Let's pop back out of play our way. Remember, the Cubs had a huge game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. They scored, what, 21, 22 runs?
21-0. Scored 3 touchdowns before the 7th inning.
So a good day for the Bears.
I was going to say, Bears wishing they could score that many points.
No balls and a strike for Contreras. Wonder how many 21-0 shutouts the Bears have in this last couple of years. But they lost 3 out of 4 to the Pirates and have lost 5 of 6 coming into play in Atlanta. Figure to see Jason Hayward in the lineup tomorrow against Charlie Morton, Braves right-hander, as Contreras fouls that away from Kenley. Sinker after 2 cutters, and it's 1-2. Golema tells us that 21-0 game for the Cubs. They hit 1 homer.
Wow.
They've hit 1 homer today, and that's their lone run. Ian Happ turned that trick in the 3rd inning. The 1-2. Line drive center right at Duvall. He barely had to move. And the Braves are an out away from a series opening win. And Schwindel stands in the way. He's 1 for 3 with a 4th inning single. Braves play him to pull on the infield. The best he could do is make it a 1-run game.
We're just pounding that strike zone right now, filling it up.
I mean, Jeff, that's all night. The Braves have not walked a hitter. The Cubs didn't walk anybody, but Atlanta in particular. I mean, this has been another beautifully pitched game from Fried, Smith, Matzik, and Kenley Jansen. And that one skips up there. Rafael Ortega, he's a former Brave. He's on deck if Schwindel could keep the game alive. No Hayward, no Ortega. Left-hand hitters with Max Fried on the mound. Figure to see them in the lineup tomorrow night. And that's when we want to see him. Not tonight in a 3-1 game. The 1-1 pitch. Skipped up there again. Last big league game with no walks for either staff. September 29th last year, the Yankees and the Blue Jays. No walks to this point. But Jansen is behind the Cub first baseman. 2 balls and a strike. Thank you, Hal. Braves Live postgame follows us, presented by Xfinity. The pitch. And we're a strike away from sending it to Nick, to Peter, and BJ. Now everybody up here at Truist Park.
He's throwing 2 sliders in the dirt. I like to cut her up right here and get a swing and a miss.
Good discipline by Schwindel. This becomes a very important pitch. 3-2 with a 2-run lead. He got it. Kenley's 5 for 5 in saves, and the Braves beat the Cubs. No walks. Max Fried and Travis Demeritte and company opened this series with a big win.
Now you love tonight when you went out and got Jansen, Chip. It's exactly what you imagined. Fried 6 innings. Smith, Matzik, Jansen faced a minimum those 3, 9 hitters. Max was outstanding, and offensively only 3 runs. But again, I'll say they hit the ball hard tonight. They had some big hits, some hard hits. Guys look better at bats. That was a clean ball game tonight.
And a much needed win for the Braves, who are now 8-10 on the season, and they will send Charlie Morton to the mound in game 2 tomorrow night. Braves 3, Cubs 1. Congrats to Travis Demeritte, first homer in a couple of years in the show, and hopefully the first of many to come here in 2022. Braves 3, Chicago 1. For Kelly Kroll, Jeff Francoeur, and our great crew, Chip Carey. We thank you for joining us tonight. Stick around. Braves Live, presented by Xfinity, is next. Nick, Peter, and BJ set to take it away.